measures.
So wait, so like we have like the name for it, right? Like a pound. But to make sure a pound is actually a pound, we have to use the metric system. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and today we're watching, is the metric system actually better? Y'all know we like our inches and our feet over here, okay? What the heck is a kilometer? I don't know. I'm pretty sure, isn't America like the only country that uses the imperial system or doesn't use the metric system? Why? Y'all know, we just like to be weird over here. We like to do our own thing for some reason. And I can honestly say, I have never learned anything about the metric system, like at all. So today we're gonna see, is it actually better? I mean, the rest of the world uses it, so like, it can't be too bad. So we're about to get into it. Go to the channel, hit that subscribe button. This is episode 4, I think. Yeah, day 4 of uploading for 100 days straight across all of my channels. So we're just getting started. Haven't missed a day yet, so hey, let's go. If y'all are new around here, hit the subscribe button. If y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. Other than that, let's get into it.
The time has finally arrived. The comment section demanding imperial and metric units has gone on too long. There can only be one measurement system. The British imperial system, like everything British, is based on antiquated units of measurement. Like measuring your country's importance by counting the number of countries you have invaded and pillaged. A measurement that made sense 100 years ago, but it's time to move on.
Facts.
Weirdly, the British have mostly moved on from this method of measurement, and it is instead Americans who insist on holding onto it. Well, America...
So wait, the UK used it first? And we were like, nah, we're going to keep using it. Forget the metric system, we're going to keep using it. Oh.
Liberia and Myanmar, a prestigious trio. Now,
we're not alone. I thought we were completely alone. Let's go.
I can already hear the people who refuse to wear masks in the comments. There are two kinds of countries, those that use the metric system and those that landed on the moon. You know who led the design team for the Saturn V? This guy. Listen to that deep Alabama accent.
This weight dictates the amount of fuel and the numbers of motors.
An American through and through. Ignore this photo of him. Those are just some German friends he made while on gap year in Europe. Look at all his friends. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I thought, ain't this supposed to be about the metric system? Why are we counting Germans?
6, 7, 8.
9.
Okay, what are we doing? What is this video? This is supposed to be about the metric system.
9 friends. A popular man. This Alabama native used metric. In fact, he despised British units. So much so that he designed a rocket during his gap year to fly to England to show them how great the metric system was.
What?
The Saturn V was designed, like nearly everything in NASA at the time, with a mixture of both metric and imperial units.
I was about to say, I've heard like in the UK, y'all kind of like mix the two. Like sometimes you'll use the metric system and then sometimes you'll use the imperial system. I've seen people like in the comments say like, yeah, sometimes you mix them. There's some people that are dead set on just using the imperial, then other people that are dead set on the metric. But there are some people out there that like mix the two. I feel like that'd just be so confusing.
Just read the mission reports for Apollo 11 for proof of this. It switches between inches and centimeters constantly.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Anyone working with this report would have had to be hyper aware of what unit of measurement they were using.
See, like, I know what a centimeter is, but what's a meter?
Most of the design and science work was done in metric, before being converted to imperial for the manufacturing and operational staff. One of the most mind-boggling examples of this is the guidance computer. It was coded in metric. Meters and kilograms are the language of science. But to ensure the astronauts could intuitively understand what those calculations meant, the displays inside the lunar module had to be displayed in British imperial units.
See, I do feel like smart people say like kilometers and meters. Like, it just sounds smarter. Like scientists and stuff, I feel like they're always using the metric system.
So, even back then, when computer power was extremely limited, the engineers had to waste precious computational time and power to conversion. And this isn't just a waste of computation power. Errors in conversion have led to an insane number of accidents through the years, some of the most notable being in NASA. In December...
That's like the last place you want an accident, or like a mishap. Like, you can't be getting stuff wrong when it comes to NASA, okay? How hard is it to convert it, though? Like, I feel like it'd probably be kind of hard. Can y'all hear my cat? He's just out there yelling for no reason.
In 1998, the Mars Climate Orbiter took off from Cape Canaveral aboard its Delta II rocket. Over the course of its 9.5-month journey, the orbiter needed to complete trajectory correction maneuvers to bring it into an optimal orbit insertion altitude of 226 kilometers. However, as the time grew closer, calculations showed that the orbiter was entering Mars orbit in a far lower altitude, so low that it was likely going to strike the atmosphere and violently tear itself apart.
Jeez. Dude, I can't imagine sending something into space. Like, you know how crazy that is?
This is exactly what happened. So, what went wrong? The orbiter was coded with metric units, so the thruster control unit was working with the metric unit for impulse, Newton seconds, but the controller was being supplied with pound force seconds, which differs by a conversion factor of 4.45. A massive discrepancy.
So you're telling me the metric system and the imperial system destroyed a rocket? Come on.
Discrepancy that destroyed a $328 million project.
Oh, not just any rocket. No. That is one expensive mistake.
1983, an Air Canada flight departing from Montreal ran out of fuel halfway to its destination in Edmonton.
Oh no.
Why? The ground crew knew 22,500 kilograms of fuel was needed for the flight. They, however, needed to calculate how many liters were needed to be pumped. So, they used the density ratio to convert the weight measurement to a volume measurement, but they used the 1.77 density ratio, which was pounds per liter, instead of the correct ratio of 0.8 kilograms per liter.
Oh. So they literally put less than half than what they needed. Wow. That is insane. That is actually crazy.
Resulting in less than half the required fuel load being pumped aboard.
Dude.
Luckily, the pilot managed to glide the plane down to an abandoned airfield, but that little boo-boo of a conversion error could have resulted in a catastrophic loss of life.
Yeah.
These are two cautionary tales with disastrous consequences, but it tells you nothing of the silent screams into the void every engineer in the world lets out when they are forced to work with both units.
It's just so crazy, bro.
It's an unnecessary pain in the ass we could all do without.
Yeah.
This is the reason we need to choose one measurement system. Mixing units not only is tempting fate with conversion errors, but it costs an untold number of hours for scientists and engineers around the world.
Dude, I feel him. You know, like, I feel like doing what he's doing at least once a day. Just putting the hard hat on and just beating your head up against a brick wall.
Banging their head against tables, when they could be using that time for something more productive. I could end the video there, but we need to really hammer home why metric units are the superior units. So why is it better? Well, let's start with the fundamental unit of measurement. There are 7 base units of measurement, and with these 7, we can measure everything in the universe. Think of them like the 3 primary colors of light. With these 3 colors, we can create any color in the universe by mixing them in just the correct proportions. We can do the same with these fundamental units of measurement. They are time, length, mass, temperature, electric current, chemical amount, and luminous intensity. With these measures, we can describe our universe. Velocity is a combination of length and time, volume is length cubed, density is volume combined with mass. These measurements,
dude, my math teacher would be so happy right now.
are the language of the universe. So, let's see how the imperial system handles a very simple one: length. An inch is a standard unit of measurement for length in the imperial system.
Yep.
Let's imagine a scenario. You are designing a railing for a 1-mile-long bridge. You, as a skilled and knowledgeable engineer, know that
as I am, you know, y'all know. Everybody knows me as a skilled and knowledgeable engineer, you know.
2 half-inch bolts are more than enough to secure the railing down. The posts of the railing are 6 feet apart. Alright, how many inches are there in a foot? 12? So that's 72 inches.
Yeah.
Every 72 inches we need 2 bolts.
Hang on. I need a calculator, hang on. I ain't doing this with my fingers. Okay, I'm ready.
Our bridge is 1 mile long.
Yeah.
How many feet is that?
2,560.
I don't know off the top of my head, and a quick Google search tells me it's 5,280
Oh. I got some of those numbers right.
feet.
Okay.
What's 12 inches by 5,080? That's 63,360 inches.
Yeah,
Divide
yeah.
that by 72, that's 880.
Sure.
So we need to order 1,760 half-inch bolts.
Yeah.
That felt cumbersome. Why do I
I
need
feel like
to
I would
remember
not be using half-inch bolts, though. I feel like you need some longer bolts than that.
all these numbers? Because imperial is a convoluted mess of measurement units invented by people who married their cousins.
Oh. So it's Kentucky's fault. Okay. By the way, this was the answer I got. Alright.
That's why. Now, let's see how much easier that is in metric. How many millimeters are there in a meter? It's in the name. Milli, 1,000. Now, how many meters are there in a kilometer? Once again, it's in the damn name, kilo, 1,000.
Yeah.
Given a measurement in kilometers but want meters, just shift the decimal place over 3 places. No
That
calculation
ain't too hard. Okay.
needed. There is no room for error. It's a simply better system. Even within imperial, you have to constantly convert your units. Ounces to pounds, pounds to imperial tons, which for some reason differs from a metric ton by 1.6%. Again, in
Dude, I low-key thought a metric ton was like in the imperial system. I did not know that was different.
metric, there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram and 1,000 kilograms in a ton. In imperial, there are 16 ounces in a pound and 2,240 pounds in an imperial ton. Why? You aren't even following the same conversion conventions as your other units.
Okay, hang on. My brain's hurting. This is too much. Oh god.
This is insanely cumbersome. The chances of conversion errors even within your own damn system is high.
Yeah.
Never mind having to convert to metric. You know what's even more insane? The word for mass and weight in the imperial system is the same. Why? Because the pound was invented before we knew what gravity was. That's why. We just assumed
The Apple incident.
mass and weight were the same thing when they aren't. So we have to specify in imperial whether we mean pound mass or pound force. I haven't been
Isn't mass like the amount of room it takes up, and then weight is just how heavy it is? I feel like those are two completely different things, right? How is that the same thing?
confused since I watched Magic Mike. The most ridiculous thing about all of this, every single one of these imperial measurements are legally defined by the metric system. America is already using the metric system, and most of the population is oblivious to it. Freedom, America, guns, pew pew, hoorah! The foot is legally defined as 0.3048 meters. The pound is legally defined by 0.435 kilograms. Why? Because the metric system is run by the International Bureau of Weights and Measures.
So wait, so like we have like the name for it, right? Like a pound. But to make sure a pound is actually a pound, we have to use the metric system. What are we doing, bro?
A neutral international organization whose sole mission is to create a global language of science, who America is a member of. And they have succeeded in an awe-inspiring way. In 2019, the final metric base unit, the kilogram, stopped being defined by human artifacts and is now, like all other metric units, defined by the laws of physics. In 2019, it ceased being defined by this hunk of metal and began being defined by Planck's constant, which is defined as 6.626 by 10 to the minus 34 kilogram meter squared per second.
What?
Of course, to use this as a definition, we need ways to define the meter and second. The meter is defined as the length of the path traveled by light in a vacuum in 1 divided by 299,792,458 of a second.
Okay, listen. I make YouTube videos, you know, like I do that for a reason. They're like, what?
Okay,
What
so
are we doing?
how do we define a second? A second is defined by the hyperfine transition frequency, which is the frequency of radiation which will cause an electron to jump from two closely spaced low energy states in a cesium-133 atom. Each of the base units are defined like this, using the unchanging language of the universe as its yardstick, or should I say, meter stick. It's a beautiful and inspiring language that transcends the realm of humans, and for that reason alone, you should strive to use the metric system.
Alright, so basically, I'll be honest, I don't know. I still don't know. Y'all let me know. Like, from what I get is, the imperial system is nothing without the metric system, but the metric system can be its own thing without the imperial system, so like... But alright guys, that is going to do it for is the metric system actually better? I still don't know. Y'all have to let me know down in the comments. If y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, thank you guys for 160,000 subs. That is absolutely insane. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. Make sure you go out today. Spread love, spread kindness. Do something nice on my day. I love you guys so much. I really do. JTReacts, and I'm out.